And hello, everybody. Welcome to LoBricks Live and Questions with Leaky. First of all, I have to apologize. I know the Super Bowl is going on right now, so I don't know how many folks we'll get, but I did get some good questions in both Instagram and in our comment section. So first, I wanted to thank everybody for coming. This is the first time I'm trying this new Streamlabs software, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try some fancy stuff, and I'll try to keep an eye on the chat room. Jonathan doesn't watch the Super Bowl, so good. And Jonathan, it might just be you and me for a few minutes until people come in here. But so what I'm planning on doing is I've got 5 questions that I've lined up from Instagram and from YouTube. From our comments section for this video. And then I'm going to kind of open it up to questions in the chat. I did bring some pictures of the MOC tonight. One thing I do know is it's been a while since we kind of did a complete film around of the MOC and like fly over and show everything. So I think we're going to do that soon. Before I get started with the questions, wait for a few people to get in here. Welcome, Mason. I'm just going to give a quick update of what's coming in the next week. On Wednesday, we have our MOC video. We're probably going to put the premiere up tomorrow, and I think we're doing Mos Eisley and Mos Pelgo. If you probably noticed, Assistant did not have a minifigure video on Friday. He is having a box opening tomorrow night. Monday night. No, it is tomorrow night. Monday night. And then next Saturday, I think he is doing a review. So with that, I think I'm going to jump into the questions. And I know it looks like we got Mason, Jonathan, and Carter with us. So the first question we got, and it came from Matt Noko, was, hey guys, how well do you and Apprentice get along prior to and during this MOC? And what was the driving force to starting this project? And how much planning did we do prior? Thank you, and thank you guys for the content. Well, first of all, Matt, thank you very much for posting your question. I don't know if you're in the chat room yet, so hopefully you can come back and watch this later. And I actually put together a little something here. So one of the things I think you're referencing is when you say, how well do me and Apprentice, and I call him the assistant, get along, is in the last video and a lot of people were commenting on, hey, who's this assistant guy in that? And that's when I put the Tusken Raider up on the little shelf, or up on behind the Junlin waist there. And what was that was about? Because I said assistant's not going to like this, he's going to get very mad. Was he did not want, oh, Matt, welcome. I'm hitting your question first, man. I'm glad you got here. And again, apologies, guys. I know this is during the Super Bowl, so I'm going to go an hour and probably only miss halftime. So anyways, and Jonathan already said he doesn't watch the Super Bowl. And so again, I'm going to be taking the questions that I got on Instagram first, and then I'll be hitting you up in the chat. So anyways, back to what I was saying. This is the Trouble at Tatooine kind of camp, Tusken Raider camp. And Assistant and I, neither of us like this. But I like the idea of a Tusken Raider camp. So I put the little one up on the shelf. But 99% of the time, me and Assistant get along. And I don't want to get into it too much, but Assistant, and you guys probably know this, and it's how it was also the driving force behind the project, is, and I'm gonna go down here because, let me pull up. So, essentially, the driving force for the project was, as you know, 2020 was kind of a crappy year. We were all stuck inside of our homes, here in the United States anyway. I don't know about you, Jonathan. But so we were looking for something to do, and it was in our family. And it kind of gets into the second question, which is, who is the assistant? And why do you guys call each other assistants? So, Matt, I'm not going to answer your question by answering this one, too. And this has come up a lot. Well, the assistant is actually my son. So I'm his dad, he's my son. And so the impetus behind doing this whole thing was we were trapped in our homes alone. We both liked Star Wars. We both loved Legos. And we just decided to do it. And as far as the planning behind it, I mean, honestly, and for those of you who have been around a while, let me bring this front and center here. For those of you who've been around a while, in the very first episode, we drew this plan. This is the original plan for the MOC with Mos Eisley up in the upper left-hand corner, Jabba's palace on the right, which we haven't built yet, Sand Dunes here, and back then we were going to have the Sarlacc pit up here, and obviously Junlin Waste. We literally that day just wrote that down. And the only thing we bought was the Sandcrawler. So everything after that point, we literally went one step at a time. We bought it as we went. We saved up money. And so that was really the impetus of it. So with that, let me go back to question 1. So since you're here, Matt, hopefully that answers your question. Great question, by the way. It kind of tells the whole history of LoBricks. And also question 2, which was, who is the assistant? And, well, one thing is he never shows his face. He's always wearing the red hoodie. So I was talking to my assistant today and said, hey, do you want to just be known as mysterious red hoodie guy? And he says, nah, I don't care. You can kind of tell him who I am. So, but he will remain anonymous or mysterious. So, anyways, and that's interesting you say that, Matt. We did plan to some extent, but it was more on the fly. We really just said we want to do all of Tatooine. And one last note on that, Matt, about our planning, is we wanted to do scenes. We wanted to do little scenes throughout the. Let me pull one up here. We absolutely wanted to do Mos Eisley. So we really wanted to do that, but we wanted a bunch of different scenes from the movie. And it's just off screen here, but you'll notice one funny thing was we have R2-D2s and C-3POs all over the place. And, you know, so we were like, we wanted to make a bunch of different scenes, but we didn't want to be constrained by, you know, that we could only have one of each character on the board. So we went a little nuts there, and I think we broke a few MOC rules when we did that. So on to our next question. Again, Matt, thanks for that question. And gotta thank the two guys that, Thomas Whitbob and Cygorth, saying thank you for your question with who the assistant is. So here is our next question. And this one comes from Dread. And Dread's saying, loving the MOC, probably one of the better ones I've seen. Thank you. I mean, we don't know a ton about MOCs, and there's been some MOCs out there. There's a couple, there's one that they do of the giant Clone Wars battles that just blow my mind. So I appreciate you guys liking our MOC, but we are definitely beginners. And Matt, thanks for coming, man. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Sorry I did this under the Super Bowl. That was probably not the smartest plan, but thanks for coming, Matt. How much did the MOC cost with all its parts? So I've been getting this question a lot. And what I realized was, I think I probably should show you guys my spreadsheet. Now, this isn't completely accurate, but we've been getting this question a lot. And I don't want people to think that we are made of money. Believe me, we are not. We've been saving up for this. But here is kind of our cost sheet. And this is an estimate. And somebody said very early on, it's like, oh man, with this MOC, you got to keep track of your piece count. You got to know how many pieces you put into this thing. So me and assistant sat down and kind of went through all of our Bricklink receipts. Well, I got the Cantina for Christmas. And I got to be honest with you, assistant had tons of Lego sets from when he was little. So essentially, yeah, up to this point, we figure it's about $2,500. And again, that's probably for inflation, because it's some of the sets we got from years ago. And we're not done. We still have Crate Dragon, we have Jabba's Palace and the whole mountain. We still got to build the Sarlacc Cave. But up to this point, we're at $2,500. And it's not great. Our cost per piece is about 21 cents. That's not great. And we're estimating about 12,500 pieces, but that's probably on the low side. So anyways, that's a little bit showing it, you know, we're kind of showing you behind the scenes there. I don't know how smart that was, but that is the answer to that question. And I promised I'd answer all questions, so there we go. So then the next question we got, if I can get it up here. And I am new at this Streamlabs stuff, so thanks for bearing with me, guys. So how do you only have 300 subs? I would think you have over 10K. Well, I am a complete, and so is Assistant, YouTube newbie. We don't know what we're doing. We just watched, you know, the YouTube videos about how to make YouTube and all of that, and we weren't really interested in subscribers. We honestly wanted to go to Brickworld, and with 2020 happening, we know we couldn't go into conventions. We couldn't do any of that. As you guys know, I'm Leaky Trooper. I'm in the 501st. I'm actually an Empire Strikes Back TSB. I dress up like a stormtrooper and go to children's hospitals and things like that here in Michigan. But I would love to have over 10,000 subs. And one thing I noticed is it definitely goes in like a roller coaster. Like for whatever reason, our one video, a Cantina video back in November hit. Like we got 6,500 views, and then it like dipped. And then we just noticed January and February are not great for YouTube, especially if you do a live stream the night of the Super Bowl. And it probably wasn't that smart. And again, I'm just going to hit the chat room here really quick. Mason, you're way better than me. I don't know. We're just beginners, man. I got to, and you guys do a good job too. I mean, I've seen a lot of really cool videos, and I see that Jonathan, you have some questions, so I'll be getting to those in a second. But we'd love to have 10,000 subs, and to be honest, I didn't even know probably until November when we got that one big video that hit. That the monetization level is like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 view hours. So I think we're still away from that. We're like at 400, but we're gonna keep going, and we're having fun. You know, I just want. I guess I put it this way: if they monetize this, that's great because I can buy more Legos. That's the way I look at it. All right, enough of that. Enough about the money questions. Let's get to the last question that I got, either in Instagram or on our comments section, and this was from Kaflaw, and he commented, "Where do you get the TAM base plates?" And I love the MOC. So I did, and again, a lot of this was me playing around with Streamlabs for the first time, but I get this question all the time, and one of the things that Assistant and I were worried about was, are they going to let fake Legos at Brickworld? And I think it's some sort of MOC, my own creation, like law that you break if you don't use real Legos. So everything else on the board we used was real except for the base plates. And honestly, it was just because we couldn't find multi-packs or even single packs of sand-colored or tan-colored base plates. So we went to the Amazon, we found these LV Hero, and there's a ton of them. We just happened to buy these ones. And I think we bought these because they were $15.99. They were the cheapest. But then later we found out the $16.99 ones come with 8. So I don't know how we made out. So we bought these. We bought, actually, we had 48. So we had to buy basically 8 packs of these, I think. So it wasn't cheap. But this is where we bought them from. They have them in multiple colors. And the only one I couldn't find consistently was white. That one was tough. So with that, I see there's a bunch of questions in the chat room. So I am going to, let me get rid of this question here. So let's hit the chat room. So I'm going to go back to the top here. And let's start with what Jonathan said. And I haven't quite figured out how to copy and paste out of the chat yet, so bear with me, guys. But can you know how much your budget is for the MOC? Oh, well, there you go. We hit kind of the cost question. And let me see. Let me pull it back up because we do have a budget. That's this guy here. So honestly, our original budget, believe it or not, I didn't want to spend more than $1,000, which sounds probably ridiculous now because we spent way more than that. But I'm pretty much, we need to get a few more things. You know, Jabba's Palace. We need to get the Rancor Pit. We do want to do the dual layer Jabba's Palace. And then the Sarlacc Cave, we got to get more of the mountain bricks, which we're actually ordering right from Lego.com. So I don't want to spend another $500, but I have a feeling that that's I'm probably going to blow that out of the water. But that is definitely the original budget for the MOC. All right, next question. Again, back to you, Jonathan. And thanks, Jonathan, for coming. You're my French friend. So what is my favorite Star Wars movie? So I have to tell you mine, and I have to tell you Assistants, because I'm older. I'm in the other generation. I'm 51. Assistant is much younger than that. So I like Empire Strikes Back. That is my favorite all-time movie, and that is probably always going to be my favorite movie. And actually, it's probably my favorite all-time movie. And as you guys know, I'm probably not going to like the prequels. Not a big fan of Jar Jar, although I've warmed up to him. And Revenge of the Sith is okay. And I got to be honest, the new movies, so-so. Okay, Mason, and I'm getting down the chat here, so you guys might be way ahead of me. But so how am I going to move the MOC? That is a great question, Mason. We don't know. We do not know how we're going to move it. We were talking about it. We were saying we're going to put it up on a shelf. We're going to put it up in an attic. We're talking about buying a pole barn. Oh yeah, I see you guys. There's all kinds of activity here in the background. This is Leaky's room. If you guys watch my podcast, when I'm on with Tales from the Dark Side, there's people, all sorts of people walking back and forth. And it's Super Bowl, so we got people at the house here. So we did make the MOC very modular. We made it in pieces. So, and Assistant was very careful, especially the mountains, that we're not going to basically go over the tan pieces. And let me pull up, I did all this work to bring some of the pieces in the MOC up. So we did, if you notice here, each section of the MOC, and let me pull up the sand crawler real quick, if I can figure out how to do this. But anyways, while I'm pulling up the pictures, we made it modular, but we do have some parts that we are really worried about. Particularly Ben's hut. That one we're a little scared about. But anyways, this entire section here in the sand crawler, including these dunes, they each fit within the tiles. And if you look up the middle here, you'll see kind of a line. That's where the base plates move. We essentially have the entire MOC in 3 giant pieces that can be disassembled. But if I could afford it, I would get a pole barn and just put the whole thing in the back of a trailer, take it to Brickworld in Chicago, and then put it out in a pole barn somewhere. So we shall see where that goes. So next question, and let's see. Oh, where's Assistant? What's he doing? Well, he's with his friends. He's Super Bowling it tonight, so he is not here. He is going to be back next week for the live stream, and he also is really into the minifigures these days. He's obsessed with getting the first 10 series of minifigures, so you're going to be seeing a lot of that. Okay, Carter, your favorites are Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Is Revenge of the Sith first? Is that the first one? Because my assistant loves Revenge of the Sith. That's his favorite. Maybe it's because Anakin gets his face melted off. I'm not sure there, but oh yeah, there's the dog in the background. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's running around back there. His name is not Yoda. That's not his name. His name is actually Bandit. I do have my Yoda cup there. Oh, I had set out a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. You can see my my Stormtrooper, stuffed Stormtrooper back there. And so the other thing I wanted to do while we're waiting for more questions to come in is I did kind of want to do a walk around of the MOC. So the first thing I showed you guys was Mos Eisley. This is kind of in its current state. And you can kind of see we already did some stuff that's coming up in the next video. You can see how we added some new roads here. Here is the sand crawler as it looks today. And again, let me pull the plan back up here. And I did have a question for you guys since you're all here tonight. I used to start every video where I would kind of talk about the plan and you'd have me doing the intro. And we've kind of gotten away from that where we just jumped right into the building. And I wanted to kind of hit the chat room up tonight and ask them, do you guys like that, or do you want us just to go right into the building? Like, how often do you need to see the entire MOC? Like, I was doing fly-arounds and all of that stuff. So I was going to show you guys picture by picture the MOC tonight, but I did have that question for you guys. And, oh, Jonathan, you got a question that I missed. Oh, the question, where is Mom and all of that? Mom's here. She is a little worried about us because we've been living in our basement for the past year, just building Star Wars Legos and filming our YouTube videos. And to be honest, when we started, we weren't going to do YouTube videos. We were just going to build Tatooine, and we wanted to be the whole basement, but we got limited to that 4x8 space in the basement. Warned you. Just recap the last video. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Warned you. All right. So, and tonight I am gonna show some pictures because I want to fool around with this new Streamlabs software. So there's the Sandcrawler. There is Mos Eisley. Let's pull up. Oh, here's something that here's something I wanted to talk about, was the Jabba's Palace future area. And this is another reason why Assistant did not want to put too many little scenes in there, because we wanted to leave enough room for Jabba's Palace. And as you can see, even the banthas and the dunes are encroaching on this area where Jabba's Palace is going to be. And since we want it to be 2 stories, Rancor Pit on the bottom, Jabba's Palace up on the top, we wanted to leave at least some room for that. And we got to do something with the backside of the Sandcrawler here. So, Ma Jr., I like showing off the entire MOC. Yeah, and I think we're going to do that. And I don't know if you guys noticed, recently I did a Leaky's month in review. So at the beginning of the month. Oh, Jonathan, you got to go. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, man. I don't know how you say goodbye. Is it bonsoir? I'm not sure. But goodbye, my French friend. So anyways, we were saying that once a month, I would kind of say, hey, this is what's coming in the next month. In February, au revoir. That's right. I should have known that. Thank you, Sean. What's coming up in the next month? And I think in those monthly videos, I'll kind of recap where the MOC is. I'll do a flyover the whole MOC. Then it's not every single video. It's more just once a month. and honestly, with Brickworld, kind of day to day, our whole plan was to be done with the MOC by June of this year, and then start with the new MOC. And we'll see how that goes. But you know, Assistant is a lot more particular than me in what he wants to see on the MOC. He wants to do a lot more on it, which I think is cool, and it would save me a lot of time because then we don't have to tear the MOC down. So here, I'm going to move to the next part here, which is probably my favorite part of the MOC so far. Although you guys haven't seen what we've done with the Crate Dragon yet, but that's coming up. That's coming up soon. Oh, I missed, Mason, I missed what you said. Oh, you asked the question I was hoping you were going to ask. What is my favorite set? And I swear I did not pay Mason in advance. So I am going to bring up my favorite set, and I have 2 of them planned here. The first one is, and it's going to take me a while to get this whole thing. So obviously this is my favorite set. Boomer, what's up? Welcome. So this is my favorite set. This is the UCS Cantina set. If you guys watch the show week to week, you know I got it for Christmas this year. It's fantastic. 22 minifigures. And as a kid, the very first Star Wars Kenner series that came out in 1977, the action figures, they had a ton. Well, I think it was like the second series, but they had a ton of the Cantina characters. So that was always close to my heart. But this one is a close second. This is basically, of all the ships, I love the Slave one. I do like the Razor Quest, but it's not as, I don't know, it's not as near and dear to my heart. And, oh, Ma Jr. missed one. Okay, so what sets would you recommend to buy if you wanted to start building your own Mos Eisley? And oh, you know what, let me go back to me here. Sorry, new to this thing. So, sets that you want, if you want to do your own Mos Eisley. Well, I think, oh, and also any Star Wars sets in general you recommend. Well, you know, being that I'm old, my recommendations might not be as relevant to you as maybe like assistant or somebody younger. But right now, I love the Trouble at Tatooine set. It's 29 bucks. You get a speeder, you get Baby Yoda, you get Mandalorian, but it all depends what you want to do. Like if you're building your own Mos Eisley, man, it's hard not to go with the Cantina set, but that's $350. That's a lot of dough to shell out. You still can get the old Cantina set on eBay for about 120 bucks, but that's still expensive. So, I mean, if I was going to start Tatooine from day one, I would probably try to do the Mandalorian. Like the Tusken Raider camp is a cool place to start. But Mos Eisley, if you're going to buy a set, then start with the outskirts. Buy those Ben huts. Those things are like 20 bucks now. I know the set's kind of crappy, but any Lego Star Wars sets in general. I mean, I love the AT-AT, the $159 AT-AT set that's still out there, and kind of I want to do a Hoth MOC next, so I want to get my hands on those. I think the new TIE Fighter and X-Wing fighters are okay, but they keep coming back with those. But honestly, man, Trouble at Tatooine, you can get it. It's only 29 bucks. You could build yourself a little Tusken Raider scene. And after you watch the upcoming Crate Dragon video later this month, I'll tell you how much it cost to build. It wasn't that much. It looks really cool. Can't wait to show that to you guys. So hopefully that answers your question, Ma Junior. And oh yeah, Carter, I saw that the Razor Crest on eBay for $150 to $160. It's still only $129 on the Lego site, and I know it's not. I don't think they're discontinuing it, even though it. Spoiler alert! It blew up in the Mandalorian. I think you can still get it on Lego.com, and I don't have one of the. So let's see what other part. Let's bring up Mos Pelgo. Speaking of which, Ma Junior. I promise you guys I'll get better at this video capture software stuff. Mos Pelgo, come on, get up there. Bring down the Slave One. There we go. So here's a current look at Mos Pelgo is how it looks today. And there's two Ben's huts in there. And then the Trouble on Tatooine is a Ballistas. And just off camera is our upcoming Crate Dragon, which we are going to build later this month. Slave One, yes, Slave One. And I don't think you can get that one anymore. I know, like you said, the Razor Crest is $100 to $150 on eBay. I don't think they're coming out with the Slave One anymore. And man, that's a shame. I think that one was, you guys would keep me honest here, but I think it was like 119 bucks or something. So I'll bring back Mos Pelgo. So let's see, Carter, I plan to find one at Target or Walmart if they end up in stock again. I hope they do, if the Slave One comes back. And definitely, you know, want to get your hands on Boba Fett. So Mos Pelgo, I want to talk just really quickly about this. And again, get your guys' opinion. We both thought this area is a little crowded. Like when you look at Mos Eisley is crowded, but it takes up half the board. So it's not a big deal that it's crowded, but Mos Pelgo is so small. Like here's Mos Eisley, pretty crowded, but I think it's pretty well balanced. But Mos Pelgo, we have it on such a small part of the board that I don't know if it looks too crowded. It's been bugging us. We love our banthas. We love all of this. And what we're hoping is when we do the Crate Dragon is that the Crate Dragon will kind of tower over it so it won't look as crowded. But I'd love to know what you guys thought about that too. And let's see. Let's bring up the Junlin Waste. And I'm going to bring up this part here. And I'm going to tell you right now. This one, so assistant build Ben's Mountain, which I'll show in a second, and I built this one. This was a nightmare. It keeps falling apart. He keeps having to fix it. If you see, it's still got holes in it. I put that little Tusken Raider camp in the back, mostly because I couldn't get it to stand all the way up. But I wanted to have R2-D2's R2-D2's cave where he gets zapped by the Jawas. So this thing was tough. What is your first and second choice of the next month? So first choice for me is Hoth. I want to do Hoth, and that is Assistant's first choice too. Second choice, I don't know. I kind of like, I've always wanted to build an army, but it seems like every single YouTuber builds an army. You know, they're always like the clones, were the Battle of Mustafar, the big battle on the planet with the little mosquito guys. Can't remember it. I always forget that planet. So first choice is definitely Hoth. And second choice, I'm going to say, somebody actually said this earlier, you should do the Star Destroyer after the MOC. I thought it would be cool to do the giant Darth Vader Star Destroyer with the bounty hunters on it, like the bridge of it, and then having out in the distance like the Millennium Falcon, like in the dark. But we were talking about that, and that would be really tough to build. But I thought a big giant 4x8 interior of a Star Destroyer kind of looking out into space, I thought that would be awesome. So I'm going to say number one is the Hoth, and number two is the bridge of a Star Destroyer. That's and we'll stick with that for now, and we might change our mind. So let's see, what other parts of the MOC have I not shown yet? And I went so fast on those first 5 questions that I ran out of questions quickly. But keep them coming in the chat room. And we already showed the sand crawler. We showed the Genland Waste. Well, I will show. I am going to show the wall of minifigs real quick here. And yes, Mason, Geonosis. That's exactly, that's what I was looking for, Geonosis. And I thought that was a cool scene, the big temple in the center where all the Jedis are kind of surrounded by the Separatist army. I was thinking about an Endor MOC, but okay, guys, I'm going to admit something here, and I don't want to alienate any of my fans, but Return of the Jedi was my least favorite of the first 3 movies, and I think it had something to do with the Ewoks. But it's kind of warmed up to it over the years. And I always thought the Emperor's throne room against Darth Vader would be cool too, like the final showdown. But there's only 2 people in there, so that'd be a little boring. Scarif would be cool. Definitely Scarif would be cool. And the other thing I heard on our other podcast, Tales from the Dark Side, a couple of things that are coming is, like, I wanted to do something with Darth Maul. And if I was going to do Phantom Menace, I definitely do kind of a Duel of the Fates. And GM Productions, who is one guy that I've been watching his MOC for a long time, he did a whole Naboo scene that I thought was awesome, including Duel of the Fates with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. I thought that would be cool to do. But I want to do something with Darth Maul. And somebody had said, and I don't know if I have picture of the probably the closest would be the Sandcrawler, but just here to the left you'll see my little range there, and I think I've been calling it Beggar's Canyon. I think I asked you guys a few weeks ago what to put in Beggar's Canyon. One person gave the suggestion that I should do the scene in Rebels where Obi-Wan Kenobi fights Darth Maul, and I think it's where Darth Maul dies. I think that's the end. Again, I should have said spoiler. I'm just throwing this stuff out there. But Rebels has been out there for like 7 years. So I'm thinking about a Darth Maul scene right in Tatooine, or move into something with Darth Maul. And so you guys help me. Was there any giant battle with Darth Maul in it? And another big battle that a lot of people do is, and I know, is the Battle of Mandalore, the Siege of Mandalore. But I don't know. That's again, I think it's been there, done that. So. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. And oh, that's right. So I am asking a question on behalf of Assistant, and thanks, Carter. That is where Maul gets killed, and I think he's pretty like dead. Like, I thought he was dead when Obi-Wan chopped him in half, but then he got his spider legs. So Assistant keeps planning to get these minifigure, and he loves to do the pack openings and then kind of reviewing the minifigure sets. So he wanted me to bounce that off of you guys. Do you like that? Are you enjoying his minifigure videos? And I think they're cool, and I think it's just cool that this is literally right behind the MOC. So in our next flyover video, I have to include the walls, and then the other wall of the MOC is our boxes, and I keep covering myself up there. Oops. Sorry, one second. Pull it below me so you can see me. There, okay, I'm back. So this is the other part where we're putting the boxes. We're not crazy about this wall, particularly since you can see our insulation in our basement on this one. So we're gonna redo this wall. We kind of like the boxes, but we got so many minifigures now, we're running out of room, but I don't want to lose the Razor Crest up here. And speaking of that, Mason, what do I think the best detailed Lego set is? Of the ones I have, I mean, the Cantina set you could argue, but I thought the Razor Crest was phenomenal. I thought the detail on it was fantastic. And I don't know how many of you guys have the Razor Crest, but that set is solid. When you pick up the Razor Crest, it just is, it's heavy. It feels like a good ship. It's got a lot of detail on the inside. But I'm sure there is a lot more better detailed stuff out there. In Star Wars. I know probably, I mean, this probably is almost like, you know, stating the obvious, but I heard the UCS Millennium Falcon, the level of detail on that thing is just off the charts. I do not have one of those, and I'm not getting one of those. That's too much. That's too big for a MOC, first of all, and I'm not going to spend that much money on it unless somebody gets it. And what do I think the best Lego game is? Oh, Jedi Knight, welcome, man. Best Lego game, I gotta be honest, I know some really old Lego games, and there used to be this one, it actually was called Rebels, and I think it was called Rebel Squadron, and you were flying first person inside of a X-Wing fighter. That was my favorite game. But the Lego Star Wars games are fantastic. I just love those, especially how it's almost like your minifigure wall here. You unlock the different figures as you go through the game, and you could play all 6 movies. And I'm really looking forward to the Skywalker Saga version of that game that's coming out soon. So that is my favorite game. Do you guys have any of your favorite games? I know, like, on my other podcast, there's the one... Oh, Fallen Order. Everybody's been talking about Jedi Fallen Order, and that's one I want to try first person. So, Carter, you're saying here, what do you guys do with the extra minifigures? Example, would the Mandalorian from duplicate sets from Trouble on Tatooine? Well, funny you should mention that, and I'm going to see if I can do this without vanishing. We put them all over the board. So, oh, you can't quite see it. So over here in the corner, you can see Baby Yoda and Mandalorian. And then in the bar in Mos Pelgo, the bar in Mos Pelgo, and you're probably not going to be able to see that either, but I'm going to try to pull it up here. Yep, the bar in Mos Pelgo in the corner, that's where I stuck the other Mandalorian. So I try to keep the Tatooine guys all on the board. So I have a Mandalorian on the speeder. I have one inside of Docking Bay 35. I have one in this bar back here. So anywhere where there's a scene with the character, I try to keep them on the board as much as possible. But as you guys saw, I do have, let me pull Mos Pelgo down here real quick. I do have several of the characters from the different sets I bought. I mean, if you look in the middle of the board here, I literally have 5 Lukes in a row. I mean, every single set comes with Luke. And it's Tatooine Luke with his blonde hair and his blue lightsaber. I did not put a ton of Lukes on the board, and we did buy a lot of Ben's Hut. And I can understand why people with Tatooine sets aren't crazy about Ben's Hut set. I think it was like $30 to begin with, and it's kind of crappy for $30. You know, 208 pieces. But now it's on sale, so maybe it's not as bad. Jedi, oh, Battlefront 1 and 2, I forgot about those, Mason. So, Mason, you're also asking the question, do I do other non-Lego things? I do, actually. I love cars. In fact, Assistant and I were thinking about restoring an old, like an old Ford or Model A. And speaking of old farm boy Luke, I'm kind of an old farm boy. I live out in the sticks, and it's probably one of the reasons I get to play with Legos so much. There's not a whole lot to do out here other than that. But other things I like to do, I'm in Michigan, so I love the Great Lakes. We go boating a lot in the summer. Not a big winter guy, so right now this really stinks, all this snow. So I'm glad there's Legos. I can play with them in my basement. Let's see, what else? Let's see, what else do we do? I know Assistant loves drone racing. He is loving that. He's been racing drones lately, and he's actually getting pretty good at it. I'm terrible. Every time I try to fly a drone, I crash it into one of the little obstacles they put up. Force Unleashed, I've heard that too, Carter. Force Unleashed 1 and 2. I want to try those out. I want to try so many of the games. And one question for you guys. Speaking of the games, have you guys gotten into the New Republic at all? The High Republic. High Republic. I bought a couple of the books, and I'm actually liking the storyline a lot. Being that I'm on a comic book show, I had to read the comic books, but I'm liking High Republic, and I hope and I heard they might come out with a game for that. So Battlefront 1 and 2, got to try those. I did play Battlefront 2 a little bit. Believe it or not, I only played Battlefront 2 to learn how to build a Dowager Queen. And I want to get more into that, and definitely Force Unleashed. Jedi Knight asks, what countries have you been to? Well, I've been all over the place. I've been to India, I've been to Italy. But when I was younger, my work took me out of the country a lot. Here in the United States, I've been probably normal places, Florida, New York, California, but countries, and obviously Canada. We live on the border of Canada, so we've been there. Assistant hasn't been much anywhere other than Canada, and I think we went down to the Caribbean one time. So what is my least favorite set? That is a great question, Mason. And I gotta say, I was really looking forward to, and you can see it on the screen right here, was the pod racing set, the 20th anniversary. And I got the thing, and it's massive, it's huge, but it's not my least favorite. My least favorite, and I wouldn't really call it a least favorite set, it's just how they keep coming out with these land speeders. It's like every year there's a new land speeder. There's so many sets I want to see that they haven't done yet. From all over the place, like a couple from Rebels. I really wanted them to do more with that, more with Clone Wars, and every year they come out with a land speeder. So I'm like, enough with the land speeders already. Excuse me. So there was one other thing that Assistant wanted me to show you guys here, since I'm sharing in a sharing mood here. Show you Mos Eisley Tower. So this was some controversy. We had several people that did not like that we ripped down the Skyhopper base. But as far as least favorite things I built, Mason, I know this is kind of it's kind of like not completely addressing your question, but early on I built that Skyhopper base. I didn't put a picture of it in, and I just hated it. I thought I did such a crappy job, and I thought a 10-year-old could have built a better base. But people actually liked it, so then I didn't judge. But I'm much happier with this tower and this area of Mos Eisley that we put in. And I wanted to make the tower a little bigger. This is Assistant's tower, but it's pretty cool. I like this area, and I wanted to see what you guys thought too. Yeah, Jedi Knight, I'm totally with you. It should have came with a pod racer. Should have come with, should have came with Qui-Gon or an extra build. And you guys remember those little worlds that came with Sebulba's pod racer, and they had one with Anakin's. And we really wanted to have a pod race scene on Tatooine. To this day, I cannot find a decent pod racer that's not the right size. I mean, that Anakin pod racer in that set is actually very, very cool. But it's too big. It's just too big. And you're right, it should have came with a second one. And I know there was a set in the past that came with Sebulba's and his, but it wasn't that great, to be honest. All right, what is my favorite minifigure? Mason Martinez. Mr. Man, who has the better computer? You're an assistant. Wait, I'm sorry. I totally skipped over your question, Mason. I got distracted by Mr. Man. Mr. Man is a shady character. You got to look out for him, guys. He's actually okay. So my favorite minifigure, I love the Beskar armor. I love the Beskar armor Mandalorian. That is very cool. But I got to be honest with you guys, and you can see him up on the wall here. Labria from the UCS Cantina. There's so many cool minifigures in UCS Cantina. I wanted a Pondo Baba, the walrus guy with his arm chopped off. I wanted him for a long time. So I was very happy what came with that. All-time favorite minifigure, though, is obviously Stormtrooper. That's me. I like that. So, Mr. Man, who is the better computer, you or Assistant? So, Assistant is a computer whiz. He literally stood in line for days and built probably the best computer that you could. In fact, it's probably at any point its AI is going to take over the MOC, and then you're just going to get like a fake Leaky instead of a real Leaky. Assistant's just going to CGI me out of the future videos. So DMR Bricks, welcome. Hello. So one last thing about favorite minifigures. There's a lot. Assistant and I were just talking about this, how the sets in the past, they've had a DC series, they've had 2 DC series, 2 Harry Potter series. The next series I think they just announced is the Marvel series. We've got to get a Star Wars minifigure series. You guys write to Lego, write to your congressman, write to whoever will listen. And I think there's some shenanigans where minifigures are considered action figures. And right now, Hasbro has a contract with Disney for action. I don't know the truth to that, but I heard that's what's getting in the way of them coming out with a Star Wars minifigure series. But there's so many minifigures that I want yet for Star Wars. And some of the more weird ones, right, from the past and from Rebels and from Clone Wars. I want an Asajj Ventress minifigure. I won't go too far down there because then we'll get crazy. But Jedi Knight asks, if you were in Star Wars, what lightsaber color will you have? You guys got great questions. I'm so happy you guys asked me all these questions today. Yeah, I know Mace Windu had the purple lightsaber. I'm old school, man. I'm not going to say blue. I don't like the light blue Luke lightsaber. I like Yoda's Jedi green, man. I always thought that was a cool one when it's shadowing off his face. And I can't remember. I think the very first time they had a Ben Kenobi action figure, the picture on the box had Ben Kenobi with a yellow lightsaber. And believe it or not, I thought that looked really cool. The yellow lightsaber looked cool, but I like the Yoda green, man. That is my favorite. And let us see, what else can I show you guys here? I talked about Jabba's Palace. I did want to say my favorite build, and I think I said this once before, but my favorite thing to research and build was up until this point, and I won't talk about the future, but was this guy. This crate Dragon Bones. I had so much fun researching this and building it, and I was trying so hard to make it look like the scene from New Hope. And we want a 104th Battle Pack. Dude, don't you want to watch the Super Bowl? I do want to watch the Super Bowl. And I'm only going till 9 o'clock. And I didn't even realize when I did this that it was Super Bowl night. That's how big of an idiot I am. But I watched it up until just before halftime. I'm going to jump back to it. Not really into the halftime show, so I'm not big into that, but I'll jump right back to that. So Mason's asking, what do you do after filming? Sleep, a lot of sleep. I read some books. I play some video games. I need to play more video games. Assistant keeps telling me I need to play video games, and I am definitely going to do that. And okay, what does Carter have to say here? There's still some characters that are not in Lego form. Oh yes, Fennec Shan, Boba Fett, Bo-Katan. They came out with Carl Weathers' character when they did the Razor Crest, and Cara Dune came out in that AT-ST. By the way, that AT-ST set is cool, but man, that thing was hard to build. I just could not get that thing it could not get that thing to stand up. And Jedi Knight, the crater looks really cool. Yeah, we still got more work to do on this. I really like the dunes, but we got a lot of comments that are a little squared, and this is Assistant's favorite area to work, is on these dunes, and he wants to do a lot more texturing in that before we go to Brickworld. Let's see, I'm sort of watching the Super Bowl. Oh, you're in New Zealand, Jedi. Yeah, I think you told me that before, New Zealand, home of the Lord of the Rings movies. And Tribal First Battle. Oh, don't tell me. I don't want to know who's winning or losing. It's really, really bad. Well, yeah. So much for Super Bowl, and now I'm telling everyone on here too. So we're kind of coming up on the end here. I'm going to take a few more questions, but again, stick around. The next couple of weeks are going to be pretty cool. We are building the Crate Dragon. We're finally going to do that, a live one, not this dead one here. And one of the things I struggled with was, and I have an explanation for it, was the Crate Dragon in the Mandalorian episode was huge. I mean, it was like it swallowed a whole bantha whole. Where this guy is big, and in the scene in the movie, he wasn't that big. But I found out there's two types of Crate Dragons, and actually, this is back in the episode when I built this. There's a Canyon Crate Dragon. And then there's like just your giant, like I think they called it the Greater Crate Dragon. And the Greater Crate Dragon is the thing that lives in that literally ate the Sarlacc out of the cave, freed Boba Fett, and then he terrorized the villagers and the Tusken Raiders. So it is going to be bigger than this one, and we're going to build it in a few weeks. So what do I think of the Beatles mosaics and the other mosaics? You know, the mosaics, I saw them, and I saw it I kind of put it in the same category as the heads, the Boba Fett head and the Stormtrooper head, and even the Yoda statue. They're just weird, man. I don't know what it is. I get Lego as kind of art, and it's sculpture art, but I don't know. I don't get into the mosaics or the heads. I just like the good old-fashioned sets where you can build ships and minifigures and all of that. Hey, but I don't hold anything against people that like the mosaics and like that stuff. It's just not my bag. So, and Carter, oh, you've been watching the Super Bowl for the advertisements, yeah. Oh my gosh, come on, Jedi Knight. What are you trying to do to me here? Can you please try and pronounce 8? 8? No, I'm not doing that. I'll try that another day, Jedi Knight. So guys, coming up on 8:53 again, thank you very much for coming. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes, but make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We follow us on Instagram. We're going to try to post more on Instagram. Assistant got me up and running on that. We got a patron page. We have all kinds of stuff going on. And I did have one other question for you guys, especially the diehard fans. And if you guys show up here tonight, you're a diehard fan. You join my Q&A session during the Super Bowl. I really appreciate it. So if do you like the amount of videos we're doing? We kind of started with the mock, and then we went a little crazy. We're going to try to do more of that. I did the video log. Every time I go shopping or some event happens, like when Brickworld told us that it's day-to-day and they might not be at Brickworld this year, which I'm not happy about, I'm going to try to do video logs. But let me know if it's too much, too little. I'm kind of here for you guys. So, and I appreciate you watching. Okay, a couple more things here. Like sets a lot, but got a mosaic for me and my dad to build. It's fun building. Well, that's one thing I heard is those mosaics are pretty cool. It's almost like putting a puzzle together. So I want to try that. What are your favorite Lego piece? Actually, that's a good question. At first, I was like, that's kind of weird, but no, that's a really good question. I actually love I love the Technic pieces. I know that's not one piece, but you can do so much with those. And it's one of the things where you can make things go multiple directions. And the Crate Dragon, I had to do some of that, where you have a top and a bottom piece. And when we get to and I meant the dead Crate Dragon, the bones. When we get to the new Crate Dragon, I will answer that question in more detail. Because Mason, because there was one piece that I could not have done the Crate Dragon if it didn't exist, And I do like how Lego is doing a lot more with the pieces lately. We were joking about the old Slave One, the ship from like 2000, the really old one where they didn't have that many pieces, and it was just so clunky because it was all made out of just bricks and it looked terrible. So there's so many cool pieces now for Legos that I didn't have access to as a kid. Oh, cool. Good to know. 504th Battle Pack. That's a good amount of videos. Well, cool, Carter. We'll keep it up then. And we got 5 minutes left here. Let's see. I had a couple of. Oh no, they don't want to see that. That was just in case we wanted to go out on the internet. I was thinking about maybe going out to Brickworld, but you guys have heard enough of that. If Brickworld is happening at the end of June and it's in Chicago, we will be there. And I know Jedi Knight, who left, that's going to be really hard for you because you live in New Zealand. But I don't know where the rest of you guys are, but come out to see us in Chicago. We'll be there, me and assistant. If they have it. I don't know if they will. Hopefully they do. Oh, the Technic Lego RC car. Yeah, that is cool. There's actually a lot of those cool Technic cars. I saw it's not my favorite. I'm not a big Lamborghini guy, but that Lamborghini is cool. And a lot of the race cars have been really cool. And oh yeah, the Lego RC car is a buggy. So... But, so, what else did I want to show you? Trouble? No, actually. Yeah, it was, nah, I'm not going to bring up the, I was going to bring up the only last thing I had was the Brickworld letter, and I think we beat that one to death. So, once again, guys, thanks for coming. Well, let's just run through the thing. 504th Battle Pack, Mason, Carter, Jedi Knight, I know I'm going to miss stuff here. DMR Breaks, Mr. Man, you crazy nut. Thanks everybody for coming tonight. Jonathan, if he comes back and watches, my French friend. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. This Wednesday's mock video is going to be both Mos Eisley and Mos Pelgo, and you saw a little bit already. Gave a little bit away, but that is about it. Any last words from the chat room before I get out of here? 504th. So I could pull up the letter. The Chicago Brick Fair right now is day-to-day, but it didn't sound great. If you go to brickworld.com, they have a letter talking about Chicago Brickworld. They're basically saying if they do have it, it's only going to be 2 days, not 4 days. And a lot of the volunteers are a little nervous. So they're kind of taking it day-to-day. They're not selling the tickets yet. So they said to stay tuned. And what I did was I just signed up for notifications. And as soon as I hear anything, I will let you guys know. But once again, guys, thank you very much. Carter, Jedi, we want to 104th Mason. You guys have been great. Thanks for the great questions. Awesome questions, by the way. Really appreciate it. And we will see you guys all soon. Charlie Mills, you got in just under the wire, man. Good to see you. I owe you an email. I'll make sure I get that to you. And I will see you guys soon. And I am out of here. Good night and bye.